This is Yoga Pilates. So for today's class, all you will need is a set of blocks. Go ahead and grab them now. If you don't have blocks, no worries. You can always use some small pillows, or you can use books. Just make sure that when you're holding the book vertical, the pages don't open. All right, go ahead, and we're going to start today in a child's pose. So go ahead and come on down to your mat, drawing your knees as wide as your mat and your toes to touch, extending your arms out long in front of you. Maybe resting your chin or your forehead on the floor. Option to place a block underneath your chin or your forehead. Really stretching your fingertips long, pressing your hips down in towards your heels. And breathing, deep inhales, filling your belly, your ribs, your lungs. Exhale, lungs, ribs, and belly. Maintain that breath one more time. This time we're going to seal our lips, inhaling belly, ribs, lungs. Hold at the top. Exhale, lungs, ribs, belly. One more time, just like that. Inhale, belly, ribs, lungs. Hold it all the way to the top. Full exhale, letting every bit go. Maybe sinking your hips deeper towards your heels, stretching your fingertips out longer. From here, walk your hands over to the left side. You can keep both hands down on the floor. You can also release your left hand, bind it around your right hip. Right bicep towards right ear. Release your left hand back down to meet your right. Walk your hand this time over to the right side. You're welcome to keep both palms on the floor, or you can release your right hand, bind it around your left hip. Left bicep towards your left ear. On your next exhale, you're going to release your right hand if you had it binded. Walk your hands back to the center, stretching. You're welcome to hold it here. If you'd like, you can release and lift your forearms off of the floor. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. On the next one, we're going to hold our forearms down to the floor. Option to bend your elbows, bringing your palms to touch. They can be at the crown of your head. If you like a deeper tricep stretch, you can release your palms, your thumbs to the nape of your neck. To go even further, you can walk your elbows towards the crown of your head, still keeping your chin or your forehead on the floor, feeling that deep stretch all along your triceps. Holding it there. If you had your hands binded, go ahead and release them down. Back to child's pose. Maybe sinking your hips one more inch towards your heels. Maybe stretching your fingertips one more inch towards the top of your mat. Inhale, come to tabletop. Releasing your wrists directly under your shoulders. Knees are directly under your hips. Tuck your toes, lift your gaze, hammock your belly down, spiral your elbow creases in towards one another. Relax your toes, round your spine, bringing your gaze towards your navel. Inhale, coming through cow, tuck your toes, lift your gaze. Exhale, scoop and arch. Round your spine. Come back through, tuck your toes, lift your gaze. Deep inhale. Exhale, scoop and arch. One more time through, tuck your toes, lift your gaze, hammock your belly down towards the floor. Untuck your toes, round your spine. Go ahead and come back to a neutral spine. Maybe patter out your toes. Let's do some wrist stretches here. We're going to spiral our fingertips towards the outside of our mat. They do not have to be a complete 90 degrees. They can be at any angle that works for you. Option to hold it here, or you can shift your weight from side to side, left to right, right to left. Come back through center. Draw your fingertips towards your knees at any variation. You're welcome to hold it here. If you'd like a deeper stretch, shift your body weight forwards and backwards. Come back to center. Draw your fingertips back towards the top of your mat, right to where we started. We're going to flip our right palm facing up. So your top of your right palm is facing down towards the floor. Your right palm is lifted up. Your left palm is flat on the floor. You're welcome to hold it here. If you'd like, you can shift left to right, right to left, or forwards and backwards. Or you're more than welcome to stay just where you're at, just holding that stretch for your wrist. Once you're ready, come back to center, flip your right palm down towards the floor, flip your left palm up towards the ceiling. So right palm is down, left palm is up. We're going to shift right to left, left to right, maybe forwards and backwards. Anything that feels good to you today. You can also just hold it with your palm facing up and keeping your body completely still. Come back to center, flip your left palm over. From here, maybe just move your hips side to side, warming up that lower body. Maybe doing some barrel rolls, drawing your hips towards your wrists, down, bringing your hips towards your heels, full circle. And of course, what you do in one direction, go ahead and do it in the opposite direction. We're going to go ahead and tuck our toes, still with your knees directly under your hips, wrists directly under your shoulders. Tuck your toes and then press your hips back. Nice toe stretch here. You should also feel it in your calves. Holding and breathing. Pressing your hips in towards your heels. Holding and breathing. All right, from here, go ahead and come back to our tabletop. You can keep your toes tucked or relax them down. We are going to come and to thread the needle, lift your right arm up towards the ceiling, reach it under and through the left side body. 2 more times. Right arm comes up, under and through. You're hovering that right arm. Last time, we're going to lift that right arm, hover it under the left side body, just above the floor. And then extend your right arm further, lower it down to the floor. You can release your right cheek or ear towards the floor. Combine those 2 words together. You can also place a block or the pillow underneath your right cheek. You are welcome to stay here. You can also extend your left arm long. You can bind it around your right hip if you'd like. You can also extend your left leg long, holding and breathing for 3, 2, and 1. If you have your left hand lifted or binded, go ahead and place it back down underneath your left shoulder. We're going to press up, keep the left leg extended, reach your right arm up, and then set it down. From here, we're going to extend the right arm and keep that left leg extended. We're going to point the left toes. We're going to lift and lower for 10, slow and controlled. That's 9, 8, you've got 7, 6, halfway there, 4 more, last 3, 2, all right, last one. We're going to hold that right arm, left leg extended and lifted. We're going to bend and tap, bird dog, and extend. You got 9 more. Draw the elbow in, left knee in, and then full extension. 7 more. Right elbow down towards your left hip, left knee up towards your right shoulder. 5 more. And 4. That's 3. Last 2. All right, on the next one, we're going to hold that right arm, left leg lifted. We're going to pulse it from here. You got 10. That's 9. 8. And 7. 6. 5 more. 4. Last 3. 2. And 1. Hold them extended. We're going to bend and extend that left leg. You can also place your right hand on the floor if you like, or keep it extended. 8 more if you're with me, slow and controlled. And 7. That's 6. 5 more. Last 3. 2 more. All right, and the last one, we're going to hold that left knee bent. We're going to press up for 10. That's 9. Working the base of your glute here. 8. 7. You've got 6. 5. 4. 3. 2 more. Last one. Hold that left leg lifted. Go ahead and release your right hand if you had it lifted. Extend your left leg. Flex your left toes. Draw your left leg over to the outside of your right foot, looking over your right shoulder, maybe towards your right hip. Holding here and breathing. Come on back to center. Draw that left knee in to meet your right. Maybe bump your hips side to side. Now we have the exact same thing with the left arm and right leg. Come back to neutral spine, flat back. Lift your left arm up high. Draw it under and through the right side body. 2 more times. Lift it up. Draw it under and through. Once more. Lift it up. This time hovering further, holding. Extend that left arm, release it down. Release your left ear or cheek towards the floor. You can extend that right arm long if you'd like. You can also bind it around your left hip. You're welcome to keep your right foot on the floor, or you can extend it if you'd like. Holding and breathing. If you had your right arm extended or binded, go ahead and place it back down underneath your right shoulder. Keep that right leg extended. We're going to lift up. Right arm comes up towards the ceiling. Bring it back down under your left shoulder. From here, extend your left arm long. Point your right toes. We're going to lift and lower for 10. That's 9. 8. If you want to make it more challenging, don't lower your left arm, right leg towards the floor all the way. Keep it nice to a hover. 5 more. And 4. Point the toes more. 3. 2. And 1. Hold the left arm, right leg extended. We're going to draw them in towards one another and extend. Draw them in and extend. That's 7. You've got 6. 5 more, halfway there with this one. 4. Last 3. 2 more, you got it. 1 more, hold the left arm right leg extended. We're going to pulse it for 10 and 9. That's 8, keep it going. 7, 6, squeeze your glute. 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Hold them lifted. We're going to bend and extend for 10 and 9. That's 8, 7, 6 more. Last 5. You got 4, 3, 2 more. Hold that right knee bent. We're going to press up for 10, 9, 8. Always an option to release your left hand down if you'd like. And 6. That's 5, 4, 3 more, 2, and 1. Hold that right leg lifted. Release your left hand down. Extend your right leg. Flex your right toes. Draw that right leg over towards the left side. Gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Maybe seeing your right foot. Go ahead and release your right knee back in line with your left. Maybe bump your hips side to side. Maybe forwards and backwards. All right. From here, we're going to tuck our toes coming into a bear pose. So hover your shins. Holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Extend your right leg. Extend your left leg coming into a high plank. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Draw your right knee in, left knee in. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Extend your left leg, extend your right leg. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1 more time each side. Left knee in, right knee in. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Extend your right leg, extend your left. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Right knee in, left knee in. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Last time, extend left leg, extend your right leg. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to rock forwards and backwards. 5 more, forwards and backwards. Last one. All right, go ahead and lower down. Elbows stay tucked in. Once you get here, untuck your toes. Lift up, mini cobra. Release down. 1 more mini cobra. Press up. Release down. Extend your right arm, lift your left leg up and over. Opening up that left hip and your right shoulder. Come back to center. Place your hands under your shoulders, press up, mini cobra. Release down, extend your left arm. Up and over. Right hip, left shoulder here. Come back to center. Hands under your shoulders, press up, mini cobra. Release down. Go and walk your hands under your rib cage. Press all the way up. From here, tuck your toes, press your hips up. Downward facing dog, pedal your heels. We're going to flow through that a few more times. All right, come to a tabletop or directly to high plank. Lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Full upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Press your hips up. Come through high plank or tabletop. Lower down 3, 2, and 1. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. One more time. Through high plank, lower down. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. All right, from here, pedal your heels. Alternate lifting and lowering your heels. Keep it going. I'm just going to face the opposite direction. That way I don't have my back to you all. When we get started, have your blocks in front of you. So adjust them if you need to. You're still in that downward facing dog, pedaling your heels. Lift both of your heels, lower them over to the right side. Lift your heels, lower them over to the left side. Lift them again, pedal them. Stretch anything else that you may need to do so. We're going to lower the heels, lift that right leg high, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, stack your hip. Maybe circle out your right ankle, maybe your right knee. Square out your hips, extend your right leg. Draw your right knee towards your right elbow. Kick it back. Right knee towards left elbow. Kick it back. Draw knee towards your nose. Hold it here. Step it through. Coming into high lunge. From here, lift your arms up. Inhale. Find your focus. We're going to pivot, open up to warrior two. Arms out to a T, so that left foot is facing the same direction that you're looking. We're going to lift and lower for 3 and 2. Last one. Hold that deep bend into your right knee. Extended side angle. You can also release your hand down towards the floor or towards a block. All right, from here, we're going to maintain that bend in your right knee. Option to hold it here, or you can press forward into half moon using that block if you'd like. You're welcome to gaze up or look down. We're going to point your toes. We're going to lower and lift. 9 more. That left foot does not have to touch the floor. 7 more if you're with me. That's 4. 2 more. All right, the next one we're going to hold that left leg lifted. We're going to flex and point. Just flex and point. If you're holding that extended side angle, maybe lift that lower right arm. You can also just hold it. Micro bend in your right standing knee if you're in half moon. Deep bend if you're extended side angle. All right, hold that left leg flexed. We're going to lower that leg down, meaning everyone back into extended side angle. Holding here and breathing. From here, we're going to keep the toes where they're at. Straighten that right leg. Arms come to big star. Bring your hands to heart center. Come into a side low lunge. Holding here and breathing. You can point and flex your right toes. You can also bring your hands down to the floor or a block. If you want to challenge your balance, keep your hands at heart center. Pointing and flexing. From here, draw your arms up high overhead. We're going to bring that left hand down, right arm comes up. Gazing, looking up. We're going to slide the arms down in front. Coming into low lunge. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to rotate twisted lunge, left elbow towards your right knee, holding here and breathing. Hands, whoop, stay at heart center. Holding and breathing. Keep it here. Really twisting those arms. All right, from here, hold that twist. We're going to open up the arms. Right arm back over that right leg. Sorry, over your left leg. Left arm forward over that right foot. Hold it here. We're going to step that left foot to meet the right. Draw your arms up high overhead. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to rotate into twisted chair. Left elbow towards your right knee. Holding and breathing. Hold it here. All right, draw your arms back up high overhead. We're going to rock back to boat. So if you'd like, you can place your hands on the floor and rock back. Coming back down. We're going to place our hands down the floor. We're going to press our hips up, coming into plow. You can lower and lift your legs here for 10. That's 9. You've got 8. Palms down by your side. And 7. Lower back is pressed in towards the floor. All right, halfway there. And 4. Last 3. 2 more. Last 1. All right, we're going to bend the knees, bring your feet flat to the floor, feet are hip width apart and parallel, palms down by your side. We're going to lift and lower for bridge. 2 more. All right, on the third, we're going to hold the hips lifted. Option to walk your hands under your hips, maybe binding your hands, lifting your hips higher. If your hands are binded, go ahead and release them down. From your bridge pose, we're going to lower the shoulders down if you had them lifted. So just your hips are lifted, shoulders are pressed in towards the floor. From here, we're going to draw the right knee up and lower. 9 more. And lower. You've got 7. And 6. That's 5. And 4. 3, hips high, 2, last 1, lower that right foot to the floor. We're going to lower and lift for 3, and 2. All right, third and final time, hold the hips lifted, lift your shoulders if you can, maybe bind your hands, lifting higher. If you have your hands binded, go ahead and release them down, lower your shoulders back towards the floor, hips stay lifted. We're going to lower that left leg. You've got 10. And 9. That's 8. Hips high. 7. 6 if you're with me. And 5. That's 4. 3 more. And 2. Last 1. Lower your left foot. We're going to lower the hips. Draw the soles to touch, so butterfly your knees open, palms down by your side still. We're going to lift and lower just the hips. You've got 5. And 4. That's 3. 2 more. And 1. Lower the hips. Draw your feet back in line with your hips. We're going to rock and roll ourselves up to a boat. You can keep your feet strapped to the floor and lift up. So from here, try to hover your legs. We're going to roll back and up. Roll back and up. Maybe extend your arms out to a high V and lower. Lift. And lower. Give me 2 more. As you rock up, your feet are hovering. All right, hold it here. Arms come up high overhead. Make sure those blocks are out of your way. We're going to extend and bend just the right leg for 10. And 9. That's 8. 7. 6. And 5, left leg stays lifted. That's 4. 3 more, yes you can. 2. And that right knee bent in the left leg. And bend. You got 9, 8, and 7. 6 more. That's 5, 4, and 3. 2 more. Last one. All right, draw your knees into your chest. Curl yourself into a tiny ball. From here, we're going to rock forward. We're going to find our child's pose. Back to where we started. Nice stretch here. Maybe finding your focus back in your breath. Fingertips spread wide. Holding and breathing. Just going to turn and face the other way. Make sure those blocks are still in front of you. You do not have to shift the opposite direction. I'm only doing this so I can face you all when we open up to Warrior 2. All right, from here, tuck your toes, come to tabletop or directly downward facing dog. We're going to pedal those heels. We're nice and warm. We did on the right side. So the same thing on the left side, keeping everything symmetrical. All right, lowering your heels towards the floor. Lift your left leg high. Bend your left knee, opening up your hips, stacking your top hip over your bottom. Maybe circle your ankle. Maybe circle your knee. Square out the hips. Extend your left leg, flex your left toes. Draw your left knee towards your left elbow. Kick it back. Left knee towards right elbow. Kick it back. Draw your left knee in towards your nose. Hold it here. Come through. Low crescent. Rise up to high crescent. Shoulders stack over your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pivot, open up to Warrior 2. Pivot those right toes. Your left toes are grounded. Arms out to a T. Straighten your left leg. Lift your arms up and lower. One more. Commit to that bend in your front left knee. Come to extended side angle. Right arm comes up high. Left elbow can be on your left knee. You can also extend it down or bring that left hand towards a block. Option to keep it here at extended side angle. You can also hover that left arm or join me in half moon. Hinge forward into your left leg. I'm gonna have this pampas grass in my face. Lift your right leg, right arm up towards the ceiling. You can bring your gaze up to challenge your balance. Bring it forward or lower it down towards the floor. We're gonna point that top right foot. We're gonna lower and lift for 10 and 9. That's 8. 7 more, stay with it. And 6. You do not have to touch your right foot to the floor, you're halfway there. We're opening up that outer right hip. And 3. 2 more. All right, hold that top right leg lifted. We're gonna flex and point. Just flex and point. Keep a micro bend in that standing left leg. If you're in extended side, keep that deep bend in your front left leg. Maybe challenge your balance. Try to hover that left arm. All right, hold the right toes flex. Bend deeper into that left knee if you're in half moon. Come back down to extended side angle. Any variation. Keep the toes where they're at. Straighten that front left leg. Lift your arms up high. Bend to your right knee. Come into a low side lunge. A point flex that left foot. You can always bring your hands down to the floor or to blocks. Holding here and breathing. You can challenge your balance. Any foot variation on the left side. All right, wherever you're at, release your right hand down to the floor. Left arm comes up. Opening up that torso. Go ahead and bring your left hand down. Slide your feet or bend into that front left knee. Coming into low lunge. That back left leg is lifted. You can also always lower it at any time. Bring your hands to heart center, and we're going to twist, bringing your right elbow to your left knee, holding and breathing. You can also bring your knee to the block, just like so. From here, we're going to lift up, open your arms up to a T, left arm back over your right leg, right arm forward over your left knee. Bring your hands back to heart center. Maintain that twist. We're going to bend deeper into that back knee. Step or hop your right foot to meet the left. Coming into chair. Hold that twist. Come back through center. Arms up. All right, from here, we're going to do a little something different. I'm just going to lean back so I don't keep touching this plant. We're going to hinge forward. Draw your arms back. Toes lift. Lower the heels. Draw your arms up high. Arms back. Lift the heels. And lower. Working those quads. Working those calves. And lower. Lift up. And lower. All right, hold it here. We're going to rock back to that boat. So you can bring your hands down, coming into a low squat and roll back, or you can roll directly back into that boat. Holding here. All right, go ahead and roll all the way back. Release your feet to the floor. Palms down by your side. We have those bridges. Lift and lower. Feet are flat on the floor. One more. Hold the hips lifted. Draw your hands under your glutes if you'd like. You can walk your shoulders in, lifting your hips higher. Release your hands. Lower your shoulders. From here, keep your hips lifted. We're going to lift and lower that left knee for 10. And 9. You've got 8. 7. 6 more. And 5. Stay with it. 4. Keep those hips high. 3. 2. And 1. Lower that left foot. Lower the hips. Draw your knees in towards your hips. You rock side to side. All right, come back. Release your feet flat on the floor. 3 glute bridges. Lift and lower. Lift. Shoulders are lifting here. Hold the hips and shoulders lifted. Option to keep your hands where you can also walk them under your hips. Lifting higher. Unbind your hands, place your hands back on the floor, lower your shoulders so just your hips are lifted. We're going to lift and lower that right knee for 10. And 9. That's 8. And 7. You've got 6. 5. 4 more. And 3. That's 2. And 1. Lower that right foot. Lower your hips. Draw the soles of your feet to touch. Butterfly your knees open. We're going to lift and lower. And lift. And lift. Lower your hips. Draw your feet flat on the floor. We have those boat rocks again. So arms are up. Rock up. You can keep your feet planted if you want more of a challenge. Lift your feet up off the floor. Roll back. Lift up. Maybe arms up, roll back. Give me 2 more. Rolling back and up. 1 more. All right, from here, hold your hips high. Keep your arms up. From here, We're going to extend and bend that right leg for 10. That's 9. You've got 8 and 7. That's 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Bend that right knee, extend the left leg, bend and extend. 10 and 9. Isn't this so fun? 8 and 7. That's 6 and 5. 4 more. And 3, 2 and 1. All right, tuck the knees into the chest. Rock and roll yourselves back and forward. Come back. Find your child's pose. Drawing your knees wide. Holding and breathing. Breath. Come back. Find that tabletop pose. Bump your hips side to side again. Cross your ankles. Come on back down onto your back. Grab a block with you. Lift your legs up high towards the ceiling. Point, flex, circle out your ankles. Circle out your wrist. Keep your knees lifted but lower your feet to the floor. So your feet are close in towards your glutes. Lift your hips up. Grab one block. At its lowest setting, place it under your hips. And just letting your hips fall onto that block. Feeling your hips open here. On your next inhale, lift your legs up high towards the ceiling. Arms up towards the ceiling. Point, flex. Circle out your wrists. Notice the difference with the block underneath your hips and without the block underneath your hips. Circling out your wrist, your ankle, maybe point, flex your toes. Anything that feels good to you today. Legs up the wall. All right, go ahead and lower your feet to the floor. Once they get there, lift your hips up, remove that block, set it off to the side, lower your hips back down. From here, draw your right knee in towards your right shoulder, avoiding your rib cage. Extend your left leg long, flex your left toes, point, flex, circle out your right ankle. You're welcome to hold it here if you'd like an active stretch. Tuck your chin to your chest, lift your shoulders, hover your left leg. You're still pointing, flexing that right foot. Your left foot is entirely flexed, whether it's hovering in space or it's flat on the floor. If your shoulders lift to go and lower your shoulders and your left leg. With your left hand, grab the outside of your right knee, pulled across the left side of your body. Maybe gazing, looking over your right shoulder. Option to extend that right arm. You can also cactus that arm by bending it. Whew, I'm extra tight this morning. My shoulder does not want to stay on the floor, and that's okay. Listen to your body. If maybe one side is not doing as it normally does, or one side's different than the other, that is okay. Come back to center. Keep your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Point, flex, circle out your ankles. Maybe circle out your right hip. And what you do in one direction, do in the opposite. All right, go ahead and switch sides. Extend your right leg, draw your left knee in towards your left shoulder, avoiding your rib cage. So really drawing that left knee up to the left shoulder. Point, flex, circle out that left ankle. You're welcome to hold it here if you'd like a more active stretch. Tuck your chin to your chest, lifting your shoulders. Hover that right leg off the floor. Your right foot is still flexed. Holding and breathing. Whether your shoulders and right foot are lifted or on the floor. On your next exhale, lower your shoulders, lower your right leg to the floor. With your right hand, grab the outside of your left knee, release your left hand to your left hip, pull it across the right side of your body, gazing, looking over your left shoulder, maybe extending your left arm long. Maybe cactus that arm, bending your elbow if you're limited on space. Maybe noticing how one side is different than the other. You want to open up your left shoulder, feel that twist all throughout your back as if you're wringing out a towel. Come back through center. Keep that left knee in toward your left shoulder. Maybe point, flex, circle out that left ankle. Maybe draw a few circles with your left hip. And then reversing that direction. Draw both knees in. From here, extend your soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. Happy baby. Option one is to grab the back side of your hamstrings. You can also grab the outer knife edge of each foot, maybe rolling side to side. Happy baby. You can come into ninja baby, extending one leg, drawing the sole of the foot to the other. Switching. You can come into a wide leg straddle on your back. Extend both legs long. You can draw the soles of your feet to touch, butterflying your knees open, really releasing your lower back. Noticing how each pose does something slightly different. Enjoying the additional stretch. Draw your knees back together. Lift your legs up towards the ceiling, hands down by your side, palms facing up. Lower your heels slowly for 5, 4, 3, 2. You win if you're the last one. Hurry, go ahead and release your feet flat on the floor, heels to touch, toes ball open, palms facing up. Squeeze everything. Squeeze your toes, your thighs, your glutes, your palms, your biceps, your shoulders. Squeezing your neck, and then release everything. Letting everything go. And on your next inhale, lift your arms up high overhead, biceps frame your ears. Roll to your right or left side. Curl your knees in toward your chest, boxing out your top left hand. And then gently push yourself up, come to a seated position. Coming to an easy pose, crossing your ankles in any direction that you'd like, palms facing up. Maybe close your eyes. Welcome to bring your hands to heart center. Thank you all for joining me today. This is Yoga Lattes, the best of both yoga and Pilates. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all. Namaste. Fantastic work. Thank you all. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Bye, everyone.